about them. What's Camille's selection quote? Precision is the difference between a butcher and a surgeon. To me, with all due respect, Vivocade is the butcher. Pain Gaming, they are the surgeon. Take it away, fellas.
I 100% thought that he was not going to get that Camille quote. I was like, nobody knows that Camille quote, but he nailed it. It was really good. Well played 4x4, and as he said, well into the draft now. Not a whole lot taken away, specifically, of course, Wukong notably absent from the bans, but most of these are just standard power picks. Nothing really strikes me in the early stages of this draft talk.
Hey, Grevthar's Ivern drawing a respect ban. That was really strong, the one game that we saw it. The only mid laner playing the champ. Also the Rel getting banned out. Oftentimes been slipping through that phase. Leaves Kai'Sa up as definitely the strongest power pick. You mentioned the Wukong. The Sejuani as well has been a big favorite of both Grell and Carioca, not just through this split, but through the year as a whole. And I want to take a moment to talk about these two teams. Cade Stars coming off a 2-0 week. An improbable 2-0 week, I should add, as they barely slipped past Kaboom and then somehow came back against INTZ from nearly 9,000 gold behind on Sunday and now find themselves in a brilliant position to make playoffs. And here against Pain Gaming, they have a chance to not only solidify a playoff spot, but prove that they belong in the conversation amongst the top dogs.
Going through the route of the Kai'Sa as well is going to give Trigo the chance to pick his fights. This was actually a big AD carry that I had my eyes on, I think, early last year, perhaps even 2 years ago, but he's significantly fallen off since then. See if he can step to B-Boy, and with a Viego and an Annie locked in alongside that for the first 3 rounds, it's not the only threat to Pain Gaming's AD carry.
This is just straight comfort from Vivocade. Grevthar, been a big Annie enjoyer. Grell, his Viego, and then the Kai'Sa for Trigo. On the other side, the Xayah for B-Boy will be very strong. We've seen Xayahs absolutely dominate the 2v2s against Kai'Sa, so support picks here going to hold a lot of weight moving forward, Dia. Even to the point where I think there might be value for Pain Gaming R5ing support and actually sacrificing their counter pick that they could have in top lane. I've seen Weiser blind pick Gnar and beat basically anybody. Why not do it here and try to get a favorable 2v2 for B-Boy?
Could work really well. I'm really enjoying the Poppy pick to Kai'Sa as well. It's a good answer, and it fits well into Carioca style, with Steadfast Presence being able to actually block Killer Instinct. You're able to cut off the whole avenue of approach for Kai'Sa in the later stages of these fights. So I really like the way that they've taken this niche interaction, turned it into a strength that Pain Gaming can use, and the Ahri really rounds things out well, as you said. Gwen now removed as we focus towards the top lane, and notably our Game 1 Rumble not going to be playing this time around, as I'm surprised to see Pain banning it, because I'd love to see Weiser's Rumble.
Yeah, just a lot of top lane focus going to come through in the bans. Not really surprising. Safe blinds, I think, getting removed from both teams. Neither one really sure what they want to blind or what they want to do. The biggest thing that sticks out to me for Vivocade Stars moving towards the second half, they have a very, very low-range composition so far. Kai'Sa, Viego, Annie, all capable of packing a lot of damage and utility amongst the 3 of them, but they need some sort of initiation. I'm looking at the Nautiluses, the Rakans, the Leonas of the world for them in the support role. But again, Pain Gaming, they do have the ability to counterpick if they want. Seems like that's not going to be the case based on the hover, but you never know.
I really wouldn't mind something like a Morgana, or this is interesting, when you know that Vivocade Stars do need to jump into you, there's so many answers, as we talked about, things like Morgana to engage Nautilus to be able to throw one out yourself, and the hovered Renata was really interesting, as Vivocade Stars would have had a lot of trouble dealing with this pick, but we're going to go stock standard into the Nautilus lane alongside Xayah, importantly also denying that combination away from Trigo.
Yeah, I don't know if I love this Nautilus pick, to be honest, Dia. I understand it because you deny the Kai'Sa Nautilus, as well as Nautilus is fantastic against Rakan, which a lot of supports have been, that's been their engaged champion of choice when Rel is removed. However, the problem I have with it is Leona's gonna be favorable in the 2v2 here, and I think Nautilus is pretty bad against Xayah Poppy. So I feel like Vivocade is going to be completely okay with this. And Nautilus against their composition is not that good. So VKS now, they're able to get the blind pick Gnar, and we saw 4 top lane bans from both teams in the second phase. Wiser, what are you going to pull out here?
Oh my god. It could really be anything, and I'm excited about the possibilities that lie ahead of us, but Vivo Stars do have some pretty good answers. As you say, haven't really solved the range problem that they have, but they've at least given us a little bit of engage with the pick of Leona for damage. It'll
That's
be
a
a
good
Malphite
pick.
locked in for Pain on the top side. Tell me, Hawk, why is it a good pick?
That is a fantastic pick because Vivo Stars is extremely heavily indexed into physical damage on the top side of the map, and you're able to neutralize against the Gnar and against a short range and relatively immobile composition from the Stars. I think this Malphite pick is fantastic. This gives you a massive front line and a lot of initiation to play behind against a Vivo Stars team that doesn't really have a true tank on their side. Yes, they have frontline with Gnar, Viego, and Leona, but nobody to really soak up this engage. Now, Pain, a little bit worried about their damage profile moving forward. You are just relying on Ari Zaya to do it. So, Stars, if they can get a lead and be able to punch through that front line and take the initiative in these fights, maybe they might just have a chance.
Throughout the course of that point, the Malphite pick went from good to fantastic, and you've convinced me all the way, Hawk. 4x4, has he convinced you?
No, he has. And I would have loved to have seen the Gangplank, if nothing else, for a little bit of spice, but also, I mean, for a pick that I think would have went really well with the rest of the composition, right? With the Poppy, with the Zaya, they can play backward very, very well. And I haven't seen Wiser play Gangplank in a long time, but I do like the Malphite into this. And I want to echo what Hawk said about who's going to be first to the fight. I think that's going to be really, really interesting to watch because, to your point, I think if they can get there first, if Pain can get to certain fights first, Vivo Cade, they don't have a true front line, right? Yes, they have, they don't have the Gnar. Again, it's very telegraphed. You need to be mega. You are a one-button Boris. Leona is a tank. Yeah, but she's a support tank. She is balling on a budget, as they say. And if ProDelta can be the one to find those hooks, then the rest of it is going to go really, really well for them. So that's what I'm watching.
I can only imagine that you're right. I will say in defense of the Gnar, this was the pick where Guigo was able to play really well against INTZ, had some really good teleport flanks, great management of the Gnar bar as well, and in the case where you're able to manage the Gnar bar, things do feel a little bit better for Vivo Stars. They don't have them winning this game.
I don't think I do either. Pain Gaming, they've locked in a composition that is all about controlling zones. I still don't love the Nautilus, but I like the idea against the short-range Vivo Stars, and it has been so often the case as we load onto the Rift. The ball is in the Stars' court to generate the advantage that they need to win this game.
Thank you, 4x4, for taking us through Champion Select and the setting of the stage for Vivo Stars versus Pain Gaming. One of the things, of course, about this game is that Vivo Stars find themselves in a fantastic position to qualify for the playoffs with one win this weekend, really pushing them into the most secure spot possible. I don't know if that win's going to come up against Pain Gaming, and we discussed this a little bit earlier, Hawk, but I think that this is the Vivo Stars to, as they are playing comfort, play as clean of a game of League of Legends as they can, win or lose.
Definitely try your best against Pain, and they're already... They understand the assignment. Get an early advantage, walk in, grab a ward on the red buff. I really like that early move to track Karaoke, and I'm with you, Dia. Vivo Stars, after a 2-0 week, and Furia going 0-2 in week 6, find themselves in a tremendous position. They do not clinch with a win here today, but they would maintain their 2-game advantage, maybe even growing that to 3 with only 5 to play, which would feel very good for this squad. But as we get into the early game, Dia, I want to highlight this jungle matchup. Grell. This team has lived and died by him in the early game. 4i4 a little bit jealous of the hair dye maybe, but this guy has been tremendous and on the Viego. I need to see what he's able to do against Karaoke's Poppy.
Got a bit of a leash up towards the top side as well, so he will be pathing down towards the Pain Gaming bot lane, but Karyoka's already on his way there. Having cleared Raptors and then Blue, he's in a fantastic position to play proactively, as are the Pain Gaming bot lane, who hit level 2 first and abuse the heck out of that advantage.
So, Karyoka's doing something really interesting. He knows a ward was put down on his red, so he's clearing to dodge out on the vision while also covering his bot lane. Grell might think he's pulling a fast one on Pain, with Karyoka presumably starting bot side based on the information available. Could be in for a nasty surprise if he goes aggressive on bottom and the Poppy shows up in the river. We'll see what happens. Just a hunch.
Yeah, already going to start showing up as Karyoka pops in, places a ward real quick, and Grell is ready to respond should anything happen towards the bottom side of the rift. But that doesn't seem to be the plan for Pain Gaming, as you called out. Karyoka, I liked what you said, pulling a fast one and manipulating the pathing of Grell without ever having seen him.
But this is so great. It just covered B-Boy and Pro Delta on their initial push, and now they should be able to just play this 2v2 fairly safely, with Grell not going to be able to find a window for the early gank. So Karyoka's work is done. The hover came through. He's able to clear out of vision, and now he can cover on the top side of the map as well. And again, denying proactivity from Vivo Stars is going to be the name of the game.
With a relatively smooth early start for especially Karyoka, playing the pathing quite well. The focus back towards the lanes where Grefthar and Dinketo are battling things out. For the moment, going to be able to keep the push pretty even, but Wiser doing pretty well himself up in the top side. This Gnar versus Malphite matchup going really well with the Comet picked up by Wiser.
Big Solo Q doesn't want you to know this, but Malphite is secretly the most broken champ in the game!
Oh my god! It's first blood! Grell flashed the wall to try and answer this back. He's not even going to be able to!
Yep, Big Solo Q definitely doesn't want you to know that. You pick Malphite into any physical damage champion and you'll win the game, Dio. What happened to Guigo? Malphite's not supposed to win pre-6!
Well, now it makes pre- and post-6 all the more problematic. I'm telling you, Doran's Ring Comet, utterly disgusting. And Grell now has had to pop back into the jungle. I think his flash will have been sniffed out here by Karyoka and Wiser, who will have eliminated other possible paths to top lane. So you get a kill, you get a summoner spell advantage in the jungle. It is everything that Pain Gaming could have wished for. And for Vivo Stars, this is looking really rough, because remember, they already weren't favored in this matchup.
And to shill for Malphite a little bit more, part of the reason why I love this pick so much is a Gnar that's not able to generate pressure in the side lane is fairly useless. Sure, it team fights well, but it's never going to team fight better than this rock in the top lane. And so with Wiser being able to get an earlier advantage than expected, Guigo is going to lose a lot of agency in this game, and by extension, the entirety of Vivo Stars.
And that's to say nothing of B-Boy and Pro Delta, who we just got a look at in the bot side. Damage is already roaming up into, well, relatively close to the mid lane to try and secure a bit of vision. And all this comes as the Chemtech Dragon does, having spawned just 30 seconds ago and likely next in the sights of Pain Gaming.
And on your screen are the people now that I look to bail Vivocade out and find them an advantage of their own. Damage and Grell, the playmaking duo on Leona and Viego. There's a lot of potential there, and they've got to find something for the Cade Stars to latch onto as we progress in this game. I want to see them linking up and playing aggressively before the level 6s come online, and a lot of that space buying and disengage comes through for Pain Gaming. B-Boy still in level 4, doesn't have the Featherstorm yet to get himself out of a bad situation. I want to see the Cade Stars try to make a proactive play somewhere on the map to at least get a cooldown out of B-Boy to make an early Dragon fight or a Herald fight easier.
Meanwhile, Dinketo is just constantly perma-shoving in the mid lane as he was expected to on Ahri. But having gone with the Merc Treads first, he can't quite answer Grefthar as quickly as he'd like. It leaves Pain in a rough spot where, yes, they have an advantage, but they can't quite take the Chemtech Dragon. And we're going to go back to neutral for a moment, actually giving time for the Rift Herald to spawn as well, opening up the possibility that these teams trade objectives in the next couple minutes.
I love just watching Wiser walk forward and barbecue the way this Guigo can only watch, but this is a fight in bottom.
Karyoka's walking in. Wow,
so
damage
big.
forced to flash. Whoa! Burning that summoner, as you said, real big. Also, questionably necessary.
I I think he was just afraid of the shoulder charge coming through from Carioca. I agree, might have been a little preemptive, but I mean, that's just, I said I want to see Damage be a big playmaker. Without Flash, it's so much harder to get on top of anyone as a pre-6 Leona, especially when they have Flash of their own available. This is part of the reason we saw Fluxu win their game earlier today against Red, was they were able to burn cooldowns before critical fights and win just by virtue of having more resources available. And Pain Gaming doing exactly that right now, removing, again, agency from the Cade Stars.
Dinketo's getting better at that as well. Now that you've got enough levels in your queue as Ari, you've got complete control over the mid wave, and that's going to keep Grevthar in place, planted in the mid lane to secure any of this CS. It gives Pain the chance to reset early, and they've been in charge of their lanes. Bvoy and Pro Delta haven't stepped back. Dinketo now is able to do much the same thing. Weiser got a solo kill early on. Now that the Rift Herald has spawned, I wonder whether the trade will come through, but Pain Gaming, they're the ones that get to decide.
Rel is on the bottom side of the map right now, maybe looking to set up some sort of play. No Pro Delta in the area either, means that Bvoy could potentially be a target. However, with priority on the wave, Pain Gaming, I mean, this may not be explosive, but it's most certainly clean. The game is very even, but they're ahead on every single play. Vivo Cade not had a single window in. This is the Pain Gaming that we have come to know and love over our years of the CBLOL.
Guigo pops into the river, spots that this is happening. The Rift Herald is low enough that there's not going to be a response from Vivo Cade Stars. The clean macro that we talked about before the game even began, before the draft even started, has really come through from Pain, and it's going to net them the first objective of the game. We'll see what they end up doing with this Rift Herald, as it can really get you priority anyway, or a little bit of cash.
One plate is taken in return. Maybe a play onto the Dragon. Grevthar throwing down the ulti to get some prio. I like this a lot. Force Dinketo off the wave. He's got no TP to be able to rejoin. However, not a huge health advantage gain. K-Stars on the Dragon. Pro Delta just going to watch it go down. So K-Stars, to their credit, going to trade back effectively, forcing the ult, but nothing more, and very even. Again, it's just a slow bit of a CBLCK game.
Yeah, good stuff from Pro Delta. I like that he stuck around because, I'll be honest, most of the time supports just won't, knowing that they can't actually do anything, but after not being able to deny the Dragon, pop in, make sure that at least an ultimate's got to be expended, and it works really well for Pain Gaming as they now have bot lane priority, where Bvoy is able to take a few plates. Remember that Rift Herald not even popped yet, not even close to it, so these plates are essentially just bonuses on top of what you know you're going to get later.
A lot of people around bot lane right now, but again, how do you engage onto Bvoy? He's got all summoners and ulti available, and Carioca in his back pocket as well. Looking at, taking a step back though at the game, yeah, I got a question for you. Like, is there a worse feeling in League of Legends than playing a carry-oriented champion and being forced to rush defensive tier 2 boots first? Guigo has Mercury Treads in his inventory already, which, don't get me wrong, is a great purchase against Poppy, Malphite, Ahri. But that sucks.
Yeah, doesn't feel very good. You're like delaying any autonomy that you're going to have in this game until Kingdom Come. And unfortunately, without that impact, he's not going to be able to stop any of this, not going to be able to secure any mid lane priority with the rest of the squad. Pain Gaming are going to pop Rift Herald, as we mentioned earlier, grab a few plates for Dinketo, and keep Ahri in the driver's seat.
Weiser, richest guy in the game. I'm telling you, this Malphite is crazy coming out. I mean, the solo kill really the only thing making the difference in this game, but you also see Guigo really far down on the gold chart as well, which, again, this Gnar from behind might really struggle. Weiser might have potential to pull the trigger with ulti here when Guigo goes mini.
He's just got a Sunfire cape. Like,
even he's building damage. He's building damage and Guigo can't.
If Weiser is on Guigo, Guigo is losing. And that's just, I mean, so often the reality of mini Gnar, but especially here.
Do you remember when Sunfire was really broken right when they reworked it? And like there was just like the barbecue comps where you could pick like a bunch of tank champions and stand next to Baron and then just do Baron by standing next to it.
Yeah. I definitely thought you were going further
funny
back.
Item.
You remember the like Evelyn, where you used to just stack Sunfire capes and stand next to people? Those were the good times.
Dia, I might be exposing myself a bit here, but I think that was before my era of the game.
No
This
worries.
is like pre-rework Evelyn, right? Like this is like back.
Yeah.
Like I played before Evelyn was reworked, but I don't think I was there for the Sunfire technology.
Yeah.
I started
It
playing
was
in
pretty messed
2016, so yeah, that sounds evil. That sounds pretty evil. Like I won't lie to you.
If only we could get the good old days of Sunfire cape back. But as you said, I mean,
Is that the good old days? Getting mysteriously cooked by someone that you can't see?
well, you know, I suppose not for everyone. It was good for the chef. Pain Gaming, they might be cooking something up here. Or Vivo K-Start start the engage off. B-Boy absolutely ready to party. Pro Delta gonna get flashed on and finished off. But now there's the teleport to cut you off. Dinketo arrives, and Damage is isolated with no backup coming. Another teleport gonna come in from Weiser, who still has his ultimate available. Over the wall he goes, and down goes Grefthar.
Once again, it's Weiser showing up to the play and getting the kills better than any top laner. It's 1-0-1 on the scoreline. Might even be more as he's wrapping around on Trigo.
The problem with Malphite is once you ult, people just walk away from you. He shows up and he's like, you know what, I actually can't get anything done here. But Pain did more than enough. I can't wait to see the replay of that. But Vivo K-Stars felt like they overextended quite a bit here.
I mean, eventually you just got to do something. We've mentioned the need for proactivity, but Grell just gets blasted on the way in. It's the space buying comp. Nobody's touching B-Boy. Nobody's touching Karyoka. Sure, you can kill a Nautilus, but who cares? I've seen Nautiluses die more times than I can count, and Weiser just shows up to the play, cleans up another one, makes it a 3-for-1, putting Pain Gaming firmly in the driver's seat. You've got Dragon now spawning in 30 seconds as well. Item spikes, Mythics on Dinketo, as well as the Kraken Slayer for B-Boy. It's just a comfortable place in the game for Pain Gaming.
Yeah, they have really been... It feels like closing this out from minute 2 because of the way that they play. As soon as Pain get an advantage, they're not styling with it. They're not capitalizing on it to the point where they just, jeez. Wow, that is a lot of play gold. My eyes draw to the bottom of the screen and I'm like, whoa, that's like half an item.
It's quite a lot of money. That's half their gold lead. Okay, that's a Flash Timbers. Onto a Nautilus, by the way.
Yeah, again, getting engaged on. How many times have we seen Nautiluses die? So many. But this time, Pro Delta survives, and it's Grell that goes down. Vivo K-Stars keep trying things, but they are coming up empty-handed.
Pro Delta not playing lore accurate Nautilus for once, as he does not die in this fight. Stays alive. Grefthar, I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. They're trying so hard, but Pain is just completely stifling any aggression. Guigo is trading back with top tower, but he's not going to get it as there's a rock.
Weiser is on top of Guigo, so he should be winning. It doesn't look like it right now, and I'm starting to doubt myself a little bit as stuns continue to rain around him. Meganar really feeling good at the moment, and the Tower of Weiser looks like it'll survive for another wave. The same cannot be said of the bot lane as Dinketo claims first brick.
Now the gold lead is 3,000. Silly Guigo thinking that throwing rocks is going to be effective against the literal rock champion in the top lane. I mean, Guigo, yeah. I really have to say, trying his best in this game. Ever since the solo kill, he's up some farm. He tried to TP to the play. It's just doesn't really feel playable right now. This Rift Herald might be the advantage that K-Stars are looking for, but as things stand, Pain Gaming is just really starting to run away with this one.
And it's not anything wild they're doing either. It's a 3,000, even a little less than, gold lead. Not ludicrous at all, but the way that Pain play chokes you out of the macro game. They don't overextend. They don't look for fancy styling maneuvers across the map. They're playing clean, safe League of Legends and keeping B-Boy safe as he scales up on Xayah. There's just no answer when somebody's playing like this.
Yeah, Dia, I think it's completely unprecedented 8,000 gold comeback angle for Vivo Cade.
Yeah, it might be it.
You gotta remember, their game against INTZ. INTZ looked like this, completely stifling any of K-Star's aggression, winning every single engagement, choking them out of the game. The position looked unlosable until the K-Stars somehow won. So, hey, maybe they can do it again.
They're going to try and find a play down here. Unstoppable Force still available, and it'll take Weiser right out of Grell's surprising amount of damage. Another tower going to fall on the bot side, and Weiser not around to defend the tier 2. Should mean that another charge goes off, perhaps even another tower going down. Teleport
That's not a good TP.
Dinketo going to come in, but he's going to be straight in the middle of 4 members of Vivo Cade Stars, who back off immediately with Karaoke showing up.
Okay, I know it's been a lot of doom and gloom, but I want to give Cade Stars a lot of credit. Really nice rotation. Understanding that their Rift Herald just gives them an advantage on tempo. They're able to push faster than Pain Gaming, even though they arrive to the play at a similar time. So Pain only getting 1 tower, Vivo Cade picking up 2, shrinking the gold lead by about 1,000. It's not a lot, but it's most certainly something, and as they are starting to get some item spikes through, 1 item on everybody, they're getting to the point of the game where maybe things could start to happen for them.
And in terms of map pressure, in terms of split push ability with a Gnar, for example, this can mean quite a bit. Not having the extra tier 2 as a buffer for Pain Gaming leaves their inhibitor tower exposed, not something that they are going to be able to work with as easily once we crest 20 minutes and beyond. So Pain Gaming, maybe not on the ropes now, but this play for Vivo Cade Stars could absolutely pay dividends. As Pain close out a little bit of vision around the dragon, which is our next objective to arrive on Summoner's Rift. It's going to be timed almost perfectly with the Baron.
So, Dia, I want to bring up another thing we talked about in the pregame.
Do it.
Players flying under the radar. B-Boy, 202 right now, and he's got 2 items. The only person in the game with that. So TP comes in. This is a proactive play.
Whoa,
the
real
damage.
quickly, but Guigo has almost no HP. He's about to go Mega, however, and this is where the plays are made. We're on a timer now for Vivo Cade Stars with no clear way into the fight. And Pain Gaming have mid-prio. They've already backed off the engage, and that's to say nothing of Vivo Cade's actual options. Ultimate still available, but with Guigo flashing away now, he's going to have to back off. Pro Delta will fall. Another Nautilus goes down as B-Boy sits in the back line, having to deal tippers before anything. 1 for 0 in favor of Vivo Cade Stars. Dinketo looks to correct it, almost taking out Guigo, and damage is ejected from the fight. Unfortunately, Guigo will go down. Grell will follow, and Pain Gaming are unstoppable. They are inevitable, and Dinketo is claiming yet another kill. A double going down for him. Perhaps another charm to connect immediately afterwards, and it does! That's a triple for Dinketo, and Pain Gaming get the team fight. They likely get the dragon, and they're gonna go for 1 more kill.
What a clean engagement from Pain Gaming. Once again, lore-accurate Nautilus. Pro Delta gives his life for the cause. 0, 2, and 4. But the carries of Pain are filthy on the sticks, Dia. Let's look at this one more time as Vivo Cade, they tried to go for an aggressive play. Guigo says, hey, guys, my Mega is running out and we're losing the game. I'm going to try something. Flashes on a Nautilus. B-Boy, brilliant reaction time to get the Featherstorm and watch him and Dinketo do the DPS onto Grethar, Guigo, and Trigo on the side. Health bars get very low on the top side of this fight, meaning that Pain Gaming is going to start to be able to run forward. B-Boy with the flash. Karaoke going to go in as well. Dinketo, everybody cascading. VKS ran out of gas in the tank, and it's actually a delayed ace at the end of it all.
And Dinketo plays this fight so well on Ahri, who so often can oscillate between being not an assassin, not quite a control mage. He does both perfectly in the course of this team fight. Now, we can see it all again. Weiser dumping damage into the front lines as he leaps towards the unstoppable force. Now Karaoke following up onto Trigo, who repositions quickly with the killer instinct, but only to his death. Guigo going to follow, and Pain Gaming, Shane, team fights together. Shane aces together. They haven't even gotten the dragon. They want Vivo Cade's lives.
Yeah, Vivo Cade's running out of cell signal as the 3G's not enough to carry them this game. Pain Gaming, they are smashing as this time it's Weiser who finds the Malphite ultimate, and Dinketo, baby, that damage is nice.
As we said, so often oscillating between not a control mage, not an assassin, and Dinketo is on the razor's edge. She is performing absolutely splendidly on Ahri, being able to control Vivo Cade Stars and dive in when it's time to finish off the kills.
Oh, Dinketo just bought a Medjais. You talk about oscillating between being a control mage and assassin. How about just being both at once? 606. Look at this flank. One-shots Grethar and Guigo. Carioca follow-up CC on the carry. Vivo Kate Stars in a composition built to go forward. They just can't do it against Zaya Poppy Malphite. And Pain Gaming is slamming them this game.
Malphite pick looking real good right about now, and Pain Gaming, as a cohesive unit, look even better. Guigo's gonna be able to get away temporarily, but remember, Baron buff in the hands of Pain Gaming means that they get to push and you do not. Dinketo escapes death narrowly at the hands of Grefthar and damage, but escape it he will, and that means that he gets to repel the push, keeping Pain Gaming in the driver's seat.
I've seen some pretty monster Annie games from Grefthar in this split, Dia, but man, only one item 22 minutes into the game, not having the damage to take down a glass cannon Dinketo. That feels bad, I think it's fair to say, as the CC combo landed, but they don't get anything. I mean, Vivo Cade, at this point in the game, that's the kind of thing that you have to try. They're down 10 grand, 23 minutes, and Pain Gaming knocking on the door.
They genuinely might just try and jump Pro Delta again, because I think it's the only thing that you can do at this stage of the game is maybe kill the Nautilus, and even that looks impossible. Wiser commits underneath the tower as Guigo goes
Depth
meta,
charge!
and even still he dies to the depth charge! Pain Gaming collect their kill in the top laner, and B-Boy gets to sit pretty in the bot side, picking up the inhibitor that was always gonna go Pain Gaming's way.
Guigo has been sundered by the depth charge. I don't think I've ever seen that in pro play. Pretty funny death and a pretty funny dive as Pain Gaming had no minions and decided to send it anyway. It's gonna buy them yet another inhibitor. I don't know if they're gonna end the game on this push Dia, but they may as well try. Kiddo.
Nice. It all depends on the engage. Dinketo tries to make it happen. He wants the end of the game, but now that Pain have expended their time, their Baron buff, securing this massive advantage, they're going to back off and play it safe as they always have, because Pain Gaming's specialty is choking you out of the game.
28-57 is the longest win that they've had in their last 4. We still got 4 minutes to go until we get there. I think Pain Gaming might just be able to do it. Now, they're not going to have the Baron or the Dragon spawning for a little bit. No Soul to speak of. It would have to come down to a big-time team fight. But when you're this far in the lead, you don't really need to wait for those neutral objectives. You can really start to press your advantage, as Pro Delta clearly wants to do, and just bear down on this last inhibitor. Top lane tier 2 is still standing, but that's even more gold for Pain Gaming to try to pick up.
I love that they get to use the Hextech gates to just hurdle across Summoner's Rift as well. It means that Pain Gaming don't lose a second hitting the map again, claiming the top lane tier 2 and pressuring the last remaining inhibitor tower. Dinketo's on the way, and once he arrives, Pain Gaming are ready for the team fight.
Just to talk about stakes a little bit, Dia, Pain Gaming with a win here today would go to only 1 game behind Red in the standings, still jockeying for that 3rd seed. They would also still stay 1 ahead of the victorious Fluxu earlier today. Meanwhile, Vivo Kate Stars, their lead over Furia would shrink to only 1.5 games, and if Furia can beat Los Grandes later, which they should, they might just be able
the ult from Guigo goes wide.
Yeah.
That was really rough. It was like Meganar was ticking. He had flash. I was hoping for it. And Vivo Kate Stars come up empty-handed. The push continues as Pain get to usher in super minions now, keeping B-Boy in the top side to clear out waves and threaten the top side inhibitor tower. It's a constant battle of tug of war. The Pain Gaming are winning. Huge hook in, isolates damage from the squad. B-Boy grabs the last hit, and it'll be another inhibitor tower falling, another member of the Vivo Kate Stars falling, and that's with Wiser still having the ultimate available, with Dinketo still being able to jump forward and use Charm.
As if there was any question about that team fight, Carioca ejecting 2 with the Poppy ultimate is way too clean.
Okay. Oh my god, B-Boy, perfect timing on the Phantom Storm, keeps him alive. Killer Instinct from Trigo will clean up a kill as B-Boy manages to stay alive on 1 HP. The man is a monster. Cleans up a few extra kills, goes down eventually, but handily lets Dinketo and Wiser take the wheel and the first Nexus tower.
It's not gonna matter though, the damage has been dealt because damage is the only one alive to try to hold the game. Dinketo triple inhibitor death means that with the super minions, he cannot end the game. I think he might have been able to, Dia, but fearing the damage, no way the minions just do it. Damage!
No,
damage
no.
on the base!
There's no way. Trigger's gonna be up in 6 seconds. Damage somehow alive. Grell's arrived as well. The minions won't be doing it to him this day. But I tell you what, the next couple of seconds, they're gonna have a lot more to deal with the Baron spawning in 10 seconds and a Hextech Dragon, a foregone conclusion. If Pain want it, you have no Nexus Towers. You are down more than 10,000 gold. And Pain Gaming are taking this win. It's a matter of time.
They're going to take the Baron just for good measure. They got a minute and a half to still get their win. They don't want to extend their average game time. Pain Gaming making short work of this one. And just to continue the point I was making earlier about playoffs, Vivo K-Stars with a loss here opens the door for Furia to move within 1 game with 5 remaining. And while Furia, they have looked a little rough recently, have a favorable matchup against Los Grandes, and maybe 1 win is all they need. So, playoff race, not done and dusted just yet, assuming Pain Gaming can close this one out.
Still in a decent position. And remember, Vivo K-Star's objective is to play as clean of a game against Pain as possible. Now, Pain have not been kind to them. Vivo K-Stars have one last fight, but Grell has to go golden before it even starts. A bunch of damage gets dumped to the front line of Pain, but it does not stop them, and they lose no members. Instead, cleaning Vivo K-Stars off the map and sending themselves to another victory. 1